My name is Joan Ward from Jonah's Rainbow Healing. I first met with Paul back in August 2011. 2011, among all my trials and tribulations, would go down as one of my worst years, with one thing after another getting worse, one thing getting worse than the next thing. And I decided to come to Paul in a reading I had done. It was mentioned that I had a curse on me. Now at the time I laughed at it, but as 2011 progressed, it got worse and worse, and I decided that it needed to be found out whether it was or it wasn't. Meeting Paul even today, I laugh about it because getting my information right and everything else, I arrived in the vicinity of his house, and I couldn't remember, was it 98 or 99? But I found myself in the back garden talking to Paul, who I never met in my life before, but yet I felt I had. Something that I wouldn't be very easy with in the past. It just felt as if I had met him before somewhere else. That session answered a lot of questions for me. He directed me on another line of, I suppose, finding out where I wanted to go, and indirectly I ended up coming back to Paul, by which he informed me about the shamanic practitioner's course, and saying to me, you know, go away and think about it. And in my heart of hearts, I replied to him and I said, I don't need to. I know this is the road that I have to go. And I did the course. Maybe I hadn't all the experiences that my fellow mates had on the course. But it is a course that every individual gets what they need out of it. Just because other people are having visions or seeing things or feeling things or whatever doesn't mean that the course isn't for you either, because along that pathway you will realise, maybe not at the time, but in later years, that course was relevant for you at that time. What did I get out of the course? More of a belief in myself, a strength in myself. Part of that course actually helped me going through what came down the line in a work situation, and it made me realise that there was more to life than putting yourself through stress and strain in a working environment, and it was okay to shout stop. It was very okay to shout stop, because from a mental health point of view, it was my saviour. But while it was very tough, it brought a lot of enlightenment to me as well. It was what we call the death weekend. And when we went to breakfast on that morning, or 11 o'clock on that morning, I got a call to say that one of my colleagues that I dealt with through work had died. She was ill, but I didn't expect her to die. When I was going through the death process, one of the things was bringing souls to the light. We had done a visit to the local graveyard in Renville, and we had brought, or any of the souls that needed, we had brought them down to do this process. And as we went into the process, which I also found hard, my friend appeared to me, which was nice. It was hard, and brought her to the steps as if we were on the phone any day, every day. And going to the light was a hard thing, because she was leaving a 1.5-year-old behind her. But then I just said, whatever is needed for her happiness, and she went to the light. That in itself, the experiences I had and other friends of hers had through the next coming days, really showed me that there is a hereafter, And we do a lot of work on this plane, but we can also do a hell of a lot on the other side as well, which also was one of the things that Paul shared with us of one of his clients who became very good friends with him and passed on, and that she was doing as much in the afterlife as she had done here. And personally, I was rewarded with being shown that on that day.